Pokemon! A fantastical world where a 10-year-old can travel unsupervised, capture monsters, and train them to fight each other. What little boy in his right mind wouldn't love this idea? As a 10-year-old myself in the 90s when Pokemon came out, this was right up my alley. However, coming from the strong Christian family I did, Pokemon had one big issue for my parents: evolution. In their world, Pokemon can evolve into more advanced forms, making them look cooler and stronger for battle. The idea of evolution directly contradicts the book of Genesis, where God created all life according to its kinds. So this was obviously a problem. A little Christian boy couldn't go around playing with a game that supported such a heretical idea. But do Pokemon actually evolve? Let's take a deeper look into this process as we attempt to answer that question. First, we need to define what true evolution actually is. To keep things simple, evolution is the process of one kind of animal slowly changing over the generations into another kind of animal entirely. This process is said to take millions of years through a multitude of small changes. So right off the bat, we have a problem with this definition and Pokemon's evolution. When a Pokemon evolves, it happens in an instant, not over millions of years. Moreover, the Pokemon isn't actually becoming a different kind of Pokemon, but rather a different form of Pokemon still in that same family of Pokemon. Allow me to explain. Take Charmander, for example. A Charmander evolves into a Charmeleon and then into a Charizard. When Charizards have babies, those eggs hatch into Charmanders. This completes the circle of life for a Charmander. Now, if a Charmander was truly evolving, then the Charizards it became would have baby Charizards instead of Charmanders. This is because once a species evolves, the obsolete form dies out. So no more Charmanders. This is because if the Charmanders weren't obsolete, there would be no need to change form in the first place. To dive a little deeper into this, there is a process in nature called natural selection. This process is when a group of individuals in a population have traits that make them better adjusted to survive an environment. A good example of this would be if you placed a bunch of dogs in a freezing environment. The ones with longer fur would survive more often than the ones with shorter fur. Thus, only the dogs with long fur would live to produce babies, and after a few generations, all dogs would have long fur. This is a one-way process where the short-haired and medium-haired dogs have died out, and now all dogs forever are long-haired in that environment unless there is outside intervention of some kind. This is one of the methods claimed to cause evolution, but it actually directly refutes it. This is because natural selection causes a loss of genetic information, and true evolution would require a gain of new genetic information. To fully explain this will require another video entirely, but for the purposes of this video, we can see that Charmander isn't going through anything like this. So if Charmander isn't going through evolution or natural selection, then what is happening to it? What is the closest thing we have to Charmander's life cycle that we actually see in the real world? The answer can be found by looking to the humble frog and beautiful butterfly. These creatures follow the exact same pattern of egg to larva, to adolescent, to adult, and back to egg that we see in many Pokemon. This process, called metamorphosis, is a much better parallel to what's happening in the world of Pokemon than evolution is. So, it would be much more accurate to say Pokemon metamorphose or transform, rather than that they evolve. But wait, I hear the nerds say, Pokemon don't just evolve by growing up. Sometimes they evolve when certain conditions are met or items are used, when they are in a specific location, or if they're your friend. We will take a look at those evolutions in a future video, but I think we've made our point well enough for today. Pokemon don't evolve. They simply get older and move on to different stages of life, much like we all do. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can catch the latest videos. In the meantime, enjoy one of the other videos here. And thanks for your support.